नमस्कार, फिर पैसा बोलता है में आपका स्वागत है। मैं आनंद श्रीनिवासन। आज मेरे भाई विनोद श्रीनिवासन मेरे साथ हैं। हम सोचे कि हॉट टेक्स कर लें कि एक हफ्ता हो गया साहब तो बैंगलोर में थे, तो इसलिए हॉट टेक्स करके आज का ताजा खबर देखते हैं उसमें क्या है, इसके बारे में बातचीत करेंगे। आज सुबह जब मार्केट ओपन हुआ तो नेगेटिव ओपन हुआ था, 50 पॉइंट नीचे था। ये स्पेशली पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक में बहुत बिक्री आई है। तो markets are down 50 points basically in a sell-off due to in public sector banks because their capital adequacy ratio is already very low and banks have to raise money to with the new RBI diktat, and Bank of Baroda is already going to raise 15,000 crores in Tier 2 bonds and infrastructure bonds to shore up its capital requirements. Other banks will also have to follow, and whether the government allows them to raise equity, which in case if it allows them to raise equity, the government also has to contribute, which in turn will put pressure on its fiscal deficit program. So we do not know what is going to happen, and that is why there is a drop in public sector bank stocks, and even private bank stocks are under pressure.
They're saying bonds may be viable option for NBFC.
Okay, this is in relation to what you told me yesterday. So far, what non-banking finance, large non-banking finance companies were doing was lazy banking. They were using their credit rating to borrow cheap from banks, and they would borrow from banks and lend it to the customers, collect the payment and pay the banks. And the nationalized banks were the biggest lenders. They don't have the collection mechanism nor the distribution mechanism for retail loans. So the banks were taking an easy way out by lending to big NBFCs like Sundaram Finance, Cholamandalam and all those companies. These in turn kept lending money forward. And so whenever the money was collected from the retail investor, the non-banking finance companies would pocket a big margin and pass on the rest to the banking system. This was put to an end. At least the norms were made tougher. It's not been made zero, but the capital weights have been pushed, which makes it more difficult for public sector banks to give more finance to non-banking finance companies. And therefore, if non-banking finance companies have to grow further, they need to raise money from other sources. One, they can raise equity. But the way finance companies make is they have X amount of equity and they borrow 5 times, 6 times that equity. So instead of borrowing from banks, they will be forced to borrow from the corporate bond market.
This is what you've been saying. Has been written finally in our papers. Divergent trend in consumer spending. Auto shine, FMCG stumbles on demand. K-shaped economy recovery in India from the pandemic slowdown shows in corporate results as well.
No, I've been talking ad nauseum about this. And even this remarkable sales in auto is driven, especially in four-wheelers, is driven by big sales in luxury brands. These are not big numbers.
Correct.
Last year, the total sales of big luxury brands, that is Benz, Audi and BMW put together, these are the big brands, there may be the other brands, they're all selling 50,000 cars. They go up 50,000, it is 75,000 cars. So the percentage of sale is increasing. The absolute volume is very small, but the rich are indeed getting richer. The more people are in the rich category. This is practically because you have given them big off in corporate taxes. And they have paid down, what they are doing is they are using the money to pay down the loans. And what the government thought was they would put money into new factories and build capacity. Instead of building capacity, they are using on these kind of freebies or goodies. Luxury goods is what is being bought. FMCG is basically whatever the rich can buy, they are already bought.
Yes.
And any more luxury they want to buy, they will import it. They'll buy a Louis Vuitton bag or a Coach bag, which they'll import from abroad. They are not going to buy big Indian brands. So for fast-moving consumer goods to increase their sales, they need to go to below the bottom of the pyramid, even to the middle of the pyramid.
Very true.
And because there has been huge inflation, and also there has been job losses. Even the IT companies are shedding jobs.
Yes.
And because IT companies are also shedding jobs, people are nervous, and even monsoon has failed.
Yes.
In large parts of the country. So people are conserving money. So instead of buying storied and listed FMCG companies, they would like to downgrade to cheaper alternatives.
Right.
Somebody buying Bata would buy Relaxo. Somebody buying Relaxo would buy Wakuru. Somebody buying Wakuru would buy a Chinese brand, unnamed Chinese brand.
Right.
This is, I'm talking slippers. So if you look at all brands, Page Industries, which makes Jockey, and Rupa, all these sales have come down.
Yes.
Nestle, in fact, said the 20 rupee Maggi pack is unviable and they want to reduce the packet size to even cheaper, smaller size so that people would see. That is basically shrinkflation
Yes.
and hoping that people would buy.
Yeah.
And the news that has come from Motown is also that they were banking heavily on festival sales. And all of us were singing big praises, including me, of how car sales have gone up. Basically, those car sales numbers were numbers dumped on the dealer.
Yes.
Now, FEDA, which is a Federation of Auto Dealers, is now saying that those sales was good. Dealers are still carrying huge numbers of
Inventory. Yes.
so what the auto guys have said is, even though festival season is over, the festival offer will continue. So basically what you have done is, for a 45-day sale, you have already put, you thought this would be done in 30 days. It's now gone to 45 days. So you have just advanced the sale because what the FEDA guy is saying is, for sales to increase, existing stock has to be liquidated.
Correct. And financing that existing stuff.
Financing that existing stock is a problem.
Correct.
And what is happening there also is, it is the 10 lakh plus SUV that is selling and not the entry level car. Which again means it's the SUV who is making money. It is the upper middle class and the rich who are buying, not the people who actually should be buying, transiting from bike into cars.
Correct.
They are not buying.
No.
Both these trends clearly indicate there is a definite K-shaped recovery in the country.
True. Laptop and tablet imports surged 42% amid licensing fears.
Now they have said no licensing. But they said that there could be licensing from 1st December. So the brands decided to play it safe. They bought more stock inside where you didn't have to register. Now you have to register and say how many you are importing, and then you would be allowed to import. So they decided to import even before they had to register. So this is a precautionary measure where they have removed all the supply that is there in their supply line in Southeast Asia. They have bought it up here because they wanted to keep stock ready, and they didn't want to get into a situation where they won't have stock to sell. Yeah, that's what happened.
Tata Realty to scale up biz in India and overseas has over 50 projects across India and Sri Lanka and Maldives.
Yeah, so Tata Realty is the construction arm of Tata's.
Yes.
And they're also, I think Tata Housing is also a part of this. So they have been into real estate. It's been a very low profile company. Whenever we talk Tata's, you should understand, yesterday when I discussed Tata Investment Corporation, there are about 30 companies of Tata's which are not listed.
Yes.
Now, this company is going to be which is going to be launched now, will be valued at it's a 4,000 crore sale, and it makes 700 crores profits. That's Tata Technologies, which is going to be listed. So this is going to make humongous profits. It's a profit-making existing technology company, and its competitors are also TCS and Tata Elxsi. And this is a company which does only automobile and aerospace business. And the anchor investor is the mother company, which is JLR and Tata Electric Vehicles. And they have another anchor investor in anchor customer in Airbus. So this company will be definitely, it will be a small cap company, but will be listed at 40-50. It will go to 40-50,000 crore market cap company. So this is 40-50,000 crores market cap. Is basically the loan of Tata Steel.
But the one question one of your viewers is asking me was, he's saying since Tata Corp is a holding company, holding all these companies under it, isn't it just good that I should just buy that one company and have all Tata companies under it?
You don't have all Tata companies.
Clarify and also price and value, talk about that a little bit.
Okay. You don't buy all Tata companies. You buy Tata companies which are already there. Not every Tata listed company is has shares are owned by that company.
Yes.
There are some major Tata. I don't think there is Tata Motors is not there.
No.
So somebody has to go and look at the
balance sheet,
look
report.
at the investments, look at the annual report, and figure out what they have and what they do not have.
Correct.
And always you have to understand, holding company will be a discount to actual valuation.
Yes.
The book value of that company is 4,700 crores.
Yes.
And 4,700 rupees per share. And the stock is trading at a 15% discount. If you are willing to lump the discount, it's a good buy it is a good holding company to buy. But you have to understand there will be no jumped up because Tata Technologies got listed.
Yes.
And it may be another 20 years before another Tata company comes public, because the last time was 2004.
Correct.
So another 20 years,
But we cannot predict that.
no minimum.
Yes.
They don't need money.
No, they don't need.
This 2,800 crores is also to bolster the valuation of Tata Motors.
Yes.
And they want to drive it to, they are committed to make it zero debt.
Yes, that's the main reason, to make it zero debt.
Yeah. And they can sell another 5,000 crores, it will become zero debt.
Correct. ITC top hotel executives are saying adopt asset right model, not asset light. We have grown at a rapid pace over the past 3 years, and our inventory is up by 20% since 2018-19, from over 10,000 keys to 12,000 keys today. ITC hotel.
नमस्कार, फिर पैसा बोलता है में आपका स्वागत है। मैं 24 नवंबर शुक्रवार कुवैत में हूँगा। 3:30 बजे से लेके 6:30 बजे तक इवेंट होगा। इवेंट होने का एड्रेस है याकूत बैंक्वे हॉल, मिलेनियम होटल कन्वेंशन सेंटर, रिंग रोड, अबू तार अल गफारी स्ट्रीट, कुवैत। जो मुझे उधर मिलना चाहे वो नीचे दिए गए व्हाट्सएप नंबर या ईमेल से हमें संपर्क करें। मेरा टीम आपसे कांटेक्ट करेगी। नमस्कार, धन्यवाद, जय हिंद।